guess where we are? Most of you probably know it's Disneyland, and I'm here with villager Don, and he and I are going to wander through Disneyland. It's Christmas time, even though it's November 13th, and we're going to give you his bird's eye view of Disneyland because he's been working here for how many years, Don?
44.
44 years. So this should be really fun. Don's an amazing person, and he knows everything about everything as far as Disneyland is, and we're going to discover exactly what he loves about this amazing place. So this is Don. Hi, Don.
Hey, how's it going?
How much fun are we going to have today, Don?
You can't imagine. I just love being here. It's like going back to your childhood all the time. It's just amazing.
How many times have you been to Disneyland as a guest?
Oh, more than 1,000 in all these years.
And when you wander around, what is it you look for and enjoy?
I like watching the people. I like watching their faces. I love seeing how happy they are. And once you walk through that area, you forget what's on the outside world for just a day and just have fun.
And have you ever had a bad time here?
No, I've never had a bad time. No, I don't mind lines or anything. No, it's part of the fun is standing in line and talking with people. I love that.
And we're going to explore. So
sure.
What are you going to show us today? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, just how I feel about things after all these years. Like we'll walk over to the Lincoln, which is one of the first things you see as you walk in the park. Most people walk by it, but when I look at it, I think, can you actually imagine seeing probably the greatest president we ever had, almost like life, talking to you? It's like, really? How is that possible? And well, I designed the control system that runs him, and so that's part of what makes me feel good about it. But it's just seeing Lincoln and some of the things I can remember that's over Lincoln and things. So that'll be fun.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm going to follow you.
All right.
Yeah. I am ready for some fun today.
Yeah. And of course on the right is our train station.
Do you have a favorite ride?
My favorite ride is still Indiana Jones.
No kidding.
Yeah, I love Indiana Jones. My second favorite is probably Small World or the Pirate Ride. Small World of Pirates.
That's a train.
So
We're going to go to Mr. Lincoln. I think we should actually do the whole thing. Let's do it.
Go in and
we don't have to wait too long.
Okay, we'll see. Lincoln, like I say, is you actually have the opportunity to see one of our greatest presidents, and we have what's called a Sarcos figure, which is figures that were made by organization for replacing people's broken parts.
No kidding.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Above Lincoln, that building up there, is where the floats and the parades are all run from, right up there. So
Yeah, who knew that?
yeah, it's right on the top. Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been up there many times.
Yeah. Put a lot of stuff in up there for the parades.
Huh.
So we'll go into Lincoln and see how long it is before it starts.
Yeah, this room is amazing with all of the pictures.
They used to have a lot of his Academy Awards in here.
Really?
Yeah.
How many times do you think you've seen this presentation?
Over 1,000.
Really?
Yeah, since I had to work on it all the time, you know.
And it's always good, right? Even after 1,000 times?
It's always good.
During its moment of greatest crisis, the Civil War. To start with, we were fortunate in being able to secure this life mask of the 16th president. How do we get this, Blaine?
This is actually a copy of an original life mask by the sculptor Leonard Volk.
Before Lincoln was president.
Before Lincoln was president.
Before he had a beard.
That's right.
During our exhaustive research into Lincoln's life, we studied his mannerisms, his gestures, and even his voice characteristics to create a faithful likeness of this honored man. The final result is so lifelike that you might find it hard to believe. Now let's go into the Opera House and listen carefully to the words of Mr. Lincoln.
Get a little kind of excited when you...
Always. Like I say, to actually be able to see the greatest president we ever had actually sit up there and talk to you is like, okay, really? Is this really happening? It's like, okay. It's great.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You sit in the front row, middle, back? Where do you like to sit?
I usually sit right about here.
Okay. This is fun. Don's probably the most enthusiastic guy I've ever met. He loves this place.
I love this place, yeah. This is great.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
I was born February 12th, 1809, in Hardin County, Kentucky. My father removed from Kentucky to what is now Spencer County, Indiana, in my 8th year. It was a wild region, with many bears and other wild animals still in the woods. There I grew up. I was large for my age, and had an axe put into my hands at once. And from that to my 23rd year, was almost constantly handling that most useful instrument. I think that the aggregate of all my schooling did not amount to 1 year. At 21, I came to Illinois. Thought of trying to study law. Rather thought I could not succeed at that without better education. I borrowed some law books, took them home, and went at it in good earnest. In 1854, the law profession had almost superseded the thought of politics in my mind, when the repeal of the Missouri Compromise aroused me as I had never been before. What I have done since then is pretty well known. If any personal description of me is thought desirable, it may be said I am in height, 6 feet 4 inches, nearly, lean in flesh, weighing on an average of 180 pounds, dark complexion, with coarse black hair and gray eyes, and no other marks or brands recollected. Yours very truly, A. Lincoln.
And now, the skills of the sculptor and the talents of the artist will let us relive Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
The world has never had a good definition of the word liberty. And the American people just now are much in want of one. We all declare for liberty, but in using the same word, we do not all mean the same thing. What constitutes the bulwark of our liberty and independence? It is not our frowning battlements, our bristling sea coasts. These are not our reliance against tyranny. Our reliance is in the love of liberty, which God has planted in our bosoms. Our defense is in the preservation of the spirit which prizes liberty as the heritage of all men, in all lands, everywhere. Destroy this spirit, and you have planted the seeds of despotism around your own doors. At what point shall we expect the approach of danger? By what means shall we fortify against it? Shall we expect some transatlantic military giant to step the ocean and crush us with a blow? Never. All the armies of Europe, Asia, and Africa combined could not by force take a drink from the Ohio or make a track on the Blue Ridge in a trial of 1,000 years. At what point, then, is the approach of danger to be expected? I answer, if it ever reach us, it must spring from amongst us. It cannot come from abroad. If destruction be our lot, we ourselves must be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we must live through all times or die by suicide. Neither let us be slandered from our duty by false accusations against us, nor frightened from it by the menaces of destruction to the government, nor of dungeons to ourselves. Let us have faith that right makes might. And in that faith, let us to the end dare to do our duty as we understand it.
Why do you love this presentation?
It shows what it took to keep our country together and the people who died to keep it together. And it just kind of makes me emotional to think of that.
Because you served.
Yeah. Yes, I did. So it's just an emotional presentation to me to see what it takes to keep our country free.
This particular ride, as you would call it, sort of epitomizes like Walt's, like, it was important to him, right? That's why he did this thing.
Very important to him, yes. He loved Lincoln, and he loved what he stood for, and that he kept us together as a nation. Yes.
Yeah, it's so inspirational.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, where would the world be without America, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
All right, so it's Christmas at Disneyland. Is that one of your more favorite times?
Yes, but I never worked at Christmas time because it was a slow time to do work, and I wanted to be home. So I very rarely, but we would come and enjoy the park sometimes.
What's your favorite thing at Christmas time to do?
At the park?
Yeah.
I think we came for the candle lighting one time, and that was something. It was beautiful.
So we're gonna wander down Main Street. What are we gonna do as we're wandering down Main Street? You gonna show us anything fun?
Oh, I'll just point out the windows, and that's about it on Main Street.
What'd you have to do with the windows?
I designed the system, the computer system that runs the animation for the windows.
Really?
Yes.
Yourself and your software guy?
Yes. It's up in the windows over Main Street. That's where there's 5 huge 5-foot by 3-foot boxes for each window that houses the computer and all the electronics and electricity needs for these windows.
How many months or years did it take for you to do all that?
The windows took about 3 months.
Yeah, so this is your favorite window?
This is my favorite window.
Why is it your favorite?
Well, when the computer tells it to change into the next scene, I am just amazed with the man, one of the guys I worked with, who actually built all the physical parts of this window, how he made it mesh together. He made all the gears, everything. He made them. He has laser cutters at his home and everything. And I'm just amazed that it doesn't hit each other. It's so wonderful. So
at night it looks really cool.
You can see a little bit of Tinkerbell's lighting during the day, but at night if you come to see these, really try to take some time to see them at night. The lighting is absolutely a miracle. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So the guy you mentioned, is he a genius? It sounds. So the guy that you mentioned, he must be a genius, right?
He's a mechanical genius. He actually makes gears. He actually cuts gears to what he needs for things to do what they do. And he's done lots of things in this park. The Sleeping Beauty Castle, there it's moving now.
Look at that.
And how it comes down and sits down and it misses each other over here. Doesn't crash into each other.
I'm gonna come back at night and we're gonna get this so it looks really good.
Yeah, you should take a picture at night. And the guy's flying up snow. He made all those mechanical things that you see moving. He built, cut, made every piece of that. And that amazes me more than what I do. That you can do something mechanical like that is just amazing. Yeah, he is one of the biggest assets this park has.
What do you love about Main Street?
Main Street, it brings you back to the days of when things were calm and people enjoyed their lives. They weren't running from place to place. They would go to stores like the arcade and enjoy themselves for a while, or the candy shop, and just relax. And you can do that here at Disneyland. You can come here and just relax and have fun on Main Street. And if you're old enough like me, you can remember those days when it was in real life. We're about to go into the Penny Arcade. We're going to take a look at a turn-of-the-century mechanical organ that's just beautiful. When they first put this organ in, nobody knew what it was, what's going to happen. Is it going to play? Is it just for looks? When's it going to play again? So I designed this, and you can see that it tells when the next performance is going to be. If you want to wait around, it says about 3 minutes. But this was something that they went, we got to have something to tell people to stand here for a minute and listen to this thing. And I said, oh yeah, I've got something we can do for that, and that's what I made this for.
I've been coming here for 50 years. I've never heard this thing play, so we're gonna wait.
About 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
About 3 minutes, and it'll kick up.
Do you love this thing?
I love this thing. Again, since I can't do it, the mechanics of it just blows me away. Like, how did you figure the mechanical things to make this work?
Why did they put that here? Do you have any idea?
I think because it fits the theme of a very old-time candy shop back in the turn of the century and stuff. So I think that's what this was for.
Does it play the same music every time?
I believe so. In about 1 minute, we'll find out.
Man, so how long did it take you to put that together?
Oh, no time at all, because I had the card, the electronic card that I had already designed, doing other things, and I thought, well, just make it turn on some lights behind a wonderful cut piece of glass.
Why did they make it kind of small?
Well, they didn't want to take away from the actual thing itself. It flashes and stuff. They just wanted it to come on. I said, no, we need to draw the people. And you draw them by having a flashing light.
Okay.
They go, oh, what's that? And so the next performance flash is to draw somebody in to say, oh, hey, why don't we just wait a minute and see what happens? Yeah. And here it goes.
Nice. That was so cool.
Isn't that cool? Now, that's been there, this sign that I made. That's been there now for approximately, I'd say 5 to 7 years. Never had a call or anything. If it ever breaks, I'll probably be 100 years old and I'll get a call at home. This thing broke and somebody remembers you did it. How do we fix it? But so that's always funny because I do get calls every now and then for fixing something, and I go, I don't even remember what it does. You know, it's been 30 years. You want to tell me what it does?
Do you keep like a notebook, or how do you like document all this stuff?
It's kind of just in my head that I remember. Well, again, like I say, when they bring me something, I go, I don't even remember what it does. Tell me what it does, and then I'll remember.
Wow.
I'll remember how to fix it, yeah. But thank the Lord that stuff I do lasts forever.
Lasts forever.
Just about, as long as electricity lasts, because it's no moving parts.
Wow. That's great. Anything else you want to say about this thing?
No, it's just amazing.
That's what I love about Disneyland. There's so many things like this that you walk by. I've been here 50 years.
Yeah.
I've come through this, I don't know, 100, 200 times, but it was never
Sure.
playing when I walked by.
No, and nobody knew what it did and what it was there for. So it's sad a little bit when kids walk by and they just walk by. But the older people, they'll look at it and they'll go, oh, I remember that. So that's what's neat. Disney has something for every age. Every age. This tree has lights in it, and this is one of the first places my control system is underneath these stairs. That it was the first electronic flicker flame device, and this tree is one of the first ones, and it's been there for approximately 35 years, and the board's still in there working. So
After 35 years, it's still working?
it's still working, so I guess I build things good.
How does it help you thrive coming to Disneyland as a guest?
As a guest,
Yeah.
I really, really believe that it keeps me kind of young and happy, and knowing that what I have done for so long has brought such joy to people.
Millions and millions and millions
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah, to have that in your life, that was your job, brought happiness and joy to people, I think is a really big thing to keep me feeling young and happy.
It doesn't get much better than that, right?
No. I mean, you can love your work, but not only do I love my work and what I did, but I see that other people love it. And I mean, you can't ask for more than that. If you can imagine I had to crawl on my hands and knees in this little hole inside of this tree trunk to put in my flicker devices that flicker all the candles that you see on this tree, and many of them on the base areas down here.
Why did they make it so small?
I don't know, because I'm a little guy, I fit.
Yeah, but what if, wow.
What if big guys have to go in there? They call Dawn.
Really? How many times do you think you've been in that hole?
At the very beginning, probably 5-10 times. For the last 30 years, once, maybe.
Because it's designed so well, you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it?
Yeah, it's still running.
The one time you went in there, what were you doing?
One of the outputs quit, and so I had to put a new output on it. That's all.
That is amazing.
Isn't that something?
Is there anything people need to know about this that they don't know? Tell us about the treehouse.
Well, it used to be Swiss Family Robinson, and now, of course, it's Tarzan's. It's all made out of steel and concrete, and it's a lot of fun. Go on it when you come.
How many times do you think you've been on Pirates over the years?
Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite rides that I got to actually work in and keep running and find new things to do. So 1,000 times.
It's good every time, right?
It's good every time. I used to like to put the waders on and walk into the water and change the fireflies that I designed, but then we realized that I'm standing in water and the fans that are blowing the fireflies are 110 volts. Decided that wasn't very safe. We better make this different. So we did.
Man. What's the coolest thing in this ride as far as you're concerned?
As far as I'm concerned, because I did the whole bombardment scene with the boats and the other place shooting at each other, all the splashes that you see in the water, all the lights, all the cannon lights, everything. I designed all those, and that's my stuff.
So every time you go by, how do you feel?
I try not to look to see if one of them's not working. I try to just have fun. That's somebody else's problem now. Fix it.
How often does stuff break on this ride?
Things don't break, but we have that Sarcos figure that I was talking about, like Lincoln, is the, of course it's Johnny Depp's figures are Sarcos, and so is the captain that is auctioning off all the girls.
Mm-hmm.
They don't break so much as they need to be tweaked all the time.
Tweaked.
Yeah.
Because this ride doesn't go down very often.
No, it doesn't. A lot of changes have been made in the ride control systems for this ride, so that it doesn't break down a lot. No.
And what's the coolest thing besides that part that you love the most? The second best thing?
I love the little rat's eyes that you see at the end as you go up, because I put those in and I didn't tell anybody.
Really?
And they're still there and they love them.
That was your idea?
Well, they had little cans that were supposed to look like rats, and they kind of sort of didn't work half the time.
Yeah.
So I made new ones that are electronic, and they look great.
Huh.
Go through the exit, young ladies and ma'am. I didn't mean for you to get that. I was telling
That's all
them
right.
where to go.
I'll edit that out. You know, I wonder, do you think Disney knows how many people have actually gone through this ride since its inception?
Yeah, that's one of the things I did for the turnstiles.
Yeah.
I made it so that they would go back to a central location area,
Yeah.
the counts.
Yeah.
So all the counts are computerized. And
So does Disney know how many people ride this every day?
oh yes, oh absolutely. That's how they decide how much money to put into things.
Okay. So could you guess? Do you have any idea how many people have ridden this ride? It's got to be 100 million or something, right? At least?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a 3,000 per hour
Right.
put through.
Yeah.
So times how many hours it's been open.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, because it's never not without a line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, only like the first 5 minutes.
Right, yeah. Right.
Huh. Wow. It's hard to wrap your head around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. This is one of their biggest flow-through rides.
Yeah. Because we're moving pretty fast.
Yeah, we're moving very quick. As soon as Star Wars lands open,
Yeah.
you'll be able to get on any ride in the park
Well, we'll see. I have a feeling more people are going to come and it'll just be even more crowded.
and think the same. Yeah, well, they're going to be going over there for the beginning.
Let's talk about Star Wars. Are going to have anything to do with that?
I hope so. You know, once the infrastructure's all built, I hope I get to go over there and work on it a bit. That'll be fun.
That would be exciting, I would think.
Yeah, I've done a couple of things over there so far. The Indian Village and things like that.
Do you expect it to be super duper high tech?
Yes, extremely so.
Like blow people's minds high tech?
Yeah, I mean, all the new stuff that they have for kids nowadays, 3D goggle visions and stuff like that. There will be a movable ride. We'll have one of those, but most of the other things will be high-tech stuff now.
Does that get you excited?
I'm old. It makes me sick.
But I mean, just the technology and everything that's happening.
Yeah, it's like when you were a kid and your father tells you how things are going to be, and now they are. I'm excited for the kids, and they all love it. But it's like, for me, it's too fast. There's too much, too much coming at me all at one time. So,
I can relate.
Yeah.
But you still admire and revel in all the things that they're able to do now.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, nobody's like this. I mean, there's no company on earth that makes the rides look and the outside area feel like you're there than Disney.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And they didn't pay me to say that.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because you know where all the bodies are buried too. Which we won't talk about.
No, I won't talk about the
They might
buried
get put a
body.
bullet in your head.
Yeah.
That's funny. What about that tree trimming? We live in the Lagoon Woods. There's 35,000 trees. I've never seen anybody in a tree. Do they do that at night? Do you know?
Yes, they do.
So they must have bright lights, and guys are
Yes.
climbing in trees and trimming them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They have, all the gears that you need, the trucks that lift you up and all that. They keep it trimmed so that it's airy and you can see through it. And also, by trimming trees, they don't have to put out a large base of roots
Right.
to keep it up.
Okay.
So, and that helps a lot.
And they don't want a limb killing somebody if there's some limb.
Falling down on people and stuff, yeah.
Wow. What's it like to walk around the park, 2 o'clock in the morning?
At night,
Yeah.
if I could give a gift to anybody, I would let them come in at night and see what it's like to walk around here when nobody's in the park. It's spectacular. I just love it.
I bet.
I love every second of it when I did that.
Yeah. That's magical, right?
It's totally magical. Yeah.
Yeah, they could probably sell $200 tours or something like that, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right?
Don't tell anybody that.
Yeah.
They'll think of that.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't already, man.
Yeah, so am I.
Auction that off. People would probably pay $500 to.
I'm sure they would. But there's so much going on. There's trucks.
Right.
There's cranes.
Right.
It would be a nightmare to try to keep people safe.
Right. But they figure that out.
Yeah.
Because Disney isn't about the bucks. Let's not kid ourselves.
It's a big company.
It's
Yes.
about the money.
Yeah. There's nothing like putting a pair of waders on and there's nobody here and you walk in the water and you fix things. You're down in the caverns and you replace the lights in the ceiling. One guy holds a ladder while you walk up this 20-foot ladder to replace the light. A little scary, but there's nothing like that.
You were probably happy as a clam.
I loved doing that kind of work, yeah. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
In your younger days.
Like my first 3 to 4 years before we started special projects, yeah.
Yeah! great.
This ride,
thank
we
you.
always come to this ride several times.
It's a wonderful ride, isn't
Thank
it?
you for finding out. I mean, that we're hearing what you're saying and finding out who made the mannequin.
Oh, thank you. You'll notice as you go up the up ramp, look to your left after Johnny, and you'll see all this green rat's eyes.
We do. We see it.
I put that in. That's mine. You ought to see my yard.
Oh, thank you.
Do you think these are the original boats?
No, they are not the original boats.
How many different versions of these boats do you think they've
I
gone
think
through?
there's just 2 of these. I'm pretty sure. I haven't kept track, but I think there's only been 2 versions. There's 2 versions for Splash Mountain, and there's 2 versions for Small World.
But the Matterhorn, they really screwed those toboggans up, if you ask me.
Yeah, they put 2 of them together, and they made new ones, so there's more people in line.
Yeah.
Which side do you want to be on?
It doesn't matter. All right, here we are. About ready to get on one of the boats. Yep. We got the front row.
I'm in the front row.
The front row's the best.
Yes. You get real wet in the front row.
And no obstructions, though. You can really take it all in.
Yeah.
All you got to do is ask for the front row. And be careful when you step in the boat.
Here we go, Finn.
So we'll get the next boat.
Yes, they're going. Yeah, let's look at it. Oh, I see. If you have wheelchair stuff, they let you load from the other side.
Those gates had opened. Next.
All right, here we go. John's going to give us a special tour.
Inside the boat and watch your children. And remember, no flash pictures. Now off with
This
the
ride always makes me so happy.
Okay, you know, I could bring this up now.
Yeah.
That the chest in the gold cave is the actual chest from the very first Pirate Ride movie that all the gold was sitting in.
I see a fish.
Oh man, we got a talker. He's going to be describing everything.
Are we gonna go? Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
This guy actually worked on the ride and invented half the stuff, so he's going to be narrating the whole time. So if you want to get some 40-year insider info, you guys can surf the conversations.
Right.
He's going to give us a narrated tour.
She'll be
of the stuff.
photobombing your interview.
The fireflies that you see in here now, those are the new ones. They work on air. We shoot air through it to make it move. No longer do we have fans trying to blow them around. There are LEDs on them that I have a card on it that makes them blink. So that's the new stuff in this part of the ride.
Is everything on this computerized? The whole thing?
Yes, and most of the lanterns that you see are off of my cards that do the flicker effect.
What tunnels we can see? I get wet. I'll just.
Come over here to see
It'd be too late to alter course, matey. And there'll be plundering pirates lurking in every cove, waiting to board. Sit closer together and keep your ready hands inboard.
Here we go. Woo! We got what?
That's why I put my jacket over my head.
Right.
The waterfall, man.
How do you feel about all the changes they've made over the years?
I like the LED lighting. It looks really great. I like that. I think I do like all the new stuff. It's very nice.
Did you give them any kind of consulting advice on this latest version?
Well, I did all of the cannon lights. That when we get to the bombardment scene, I did all the cannon lights and all the splash lights in the river, in the water, and they last forever now. If you watch the movie, that's the treasure chest in the actual movie.
No fear have ye of evil curses, says you. Properly warned ye be, says I. Who knows when that evil curse will strike the greedy beholders of this bewitched treasure?
They got rid of the smoke though. I missed the smoke.
Yeah, I don't know why. I like that. I thought it was nice.
He knows too much. He's seen the cursed treasure. You know where it hid. Now to see at your own risk. These be the last friendly words you hear. You may not
I mean, if you're a kid, there's nothing better than this.
Yeah, this is the bombardment scene. I love this scene.
So what should I be looking for right here?
Well, as you notice, as the cannonballs hit the water, they're very bright, and then they dim slowly as if they were on fire and cooling off in the water.
Jack Sparrow, show yourself, you miserable cur! with daily chores.
Tell him, Carlos, don't be cheeky.
I am not cheated. I will not talk. I put the ladder aloft.
Well, now, you swabbies. What may I offer for these hearty heads? Every one an egg layer.
Not lest they be laying golden eggs.
Hooray there, you grilled rat.
Oh, quit your clucking. The gentlemen want the rum.
No, we want the redhead.
Now, you scurvy scoundrel. Do I hear 10? A hen for a 10. Pipe down, you lily-livered lubber.
I want to record this, but you notice that that whole scene's been changed.
Yeah. He wants the redhead.
Keep still. I'm studying me map. Oh, it's the treasure map for sure, and no mistake. And by thunder.
I think they've improved the speakers too. The audio seems a lot better.
Yes, and all the sound, of course, has been improved and upgraded.
See that? Over here. Easy, boy. Here, give us the keys, you smelly little beast.
shipmates lost at sea. Salute. There's a lead. Drink up to me, Hardy Joe. Rascals and scoundrels, villains and knaves, drink up me, hearties, yo ho. With devils and blacks, you really bad eggs, drink up me, hearties, yo ho. Drink up, lads. There's treasure enough for all.
What are we looking at? The rat's eyes.
Mark my words when next you say we'll meet again. Or stay.
Damn, there's the macaw.
All right, we're about ready to disembark. That was fun. It's always fun.
Okay, Dumbo. You see Dumbo right there? How much do you think Dumbo costs? Take a guess.
$10,000.
You must have heard. That's exactly right. Did you just guess that out of
I
your
just
head?
guessed that. Yes.
You know you're shopping. $10,000.
So I won't be buying it today.
No.
Not today. Gotta save a little more money.
Your husband could probably kill you if you said I bought that, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Totally.
But it's fun stuff, though. But not $10,000.
No.
Thank you. You get 30% off, so you could get Dumbo. 35. That means you get $6,500.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a deal.
I don't know anybody that I like that much that I would buy them a present for.
We had fun.
Yes. Yes.
And now we're on the tram and we're going to head back to the truck.
And it's always makes you sad because you're leaving the place where all your troubles were gone for a while, where you were just having fun. You felt like a kid again. And now it's back to the world. But that's the way it is, but you know you can come again. And you're always thankful that they have this place that you can come and go, I'm here, nobody can touch me, I'm safe. So
Nice.
we'll be back.
We will be back.